We are back on another episode of the EVERBLACK podcast, proudly brought to you by Blacklight Art Design and RW Promotion. I'm your host, Nev. On this episode, we are joined by Andy from Combichrist, who will be touring the country this week with Darkcell in support of their latest album, One Fire. Now, Andy was on the show a little while ago where we spoke about the new album, and at the end, he dropped news that they would be heading down under again, and it wasn't announced as yet, and we didn't know what to do, but I held on to it for a little while. And then it got announced, and here we are, only a few days away. It's going to be incredible, and I have to tell you that if you've never seen Combichrist live, do yourself a favour and go see them, as they are hands down my favourite live band on the planet. I've seen them about 3 times, and they are just brutally heavy live, and I'd go to every single show on this tour if I could. They are that good. Amazing, amazing live band. You can catch Combichrist with our very own Darkcell on tour this week, kicking off on Wednesday the 2nd of October at the Basement in Canberra with Darkcell and Chud. Thursday the 3rd of October with the Brightside in Brisbane with Darkcell and Nuclear Vision. Friday the 4th of October at the Corner Hotel in Melbourne with Cyrus and Darkcell. Sunday the 6th of October at Crowbar in Sydney, and that's with Darkcell and our other good buddies, Our Last Enemy. And tickets are on sale now through DestroyerLines.com. Get them now. It's going to be such a kick-ass tour, and man, I can't wait. Brisbane, here I come. I'm ticking down the days. Alright, before we go into the interview, we have to mention that this episode is brought to you by Blacklight Art Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They've done all our shirts and hats for EVERBLACK Media, and they've got such a quick turnaround. I highly recommend checking these guys out. www.blacklightad.com.au. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at RW Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or business. Go check them out at www.rwpromotion.com.au. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our EVERBLACK podcast through Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube, and we are now uploading them to Facebook. And hopefully soon we'll have it up on Spotify once we get the bugs worked out with that. Alright, well here is my chat with Andy from Combichrist. Get your tickets now, and One Fire is also available everywhere now. Go get it, turn it up loud, it's awesome. Enjoy!
Hey Andy, it's Nev, how are you?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good dude. Thanks for joining us on the show again, man.
Well, it's been a little bit. Back again. feel like Australia, you know? Like we haven't been there for a while, so it's about time.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. We are so damn keen. Last time we spoke, One Fire was just about to be released, and you dropped a bit of a nugget. You and the boys were coming back down under, and now it's all official. It's come up so quick.
Yeah. I didn't even know if I was supposed to talk about that back then, but now we're coming. So. But it was, you know, nothing was set in stone. So, for at least for us to head your way. So I'm pretty excited about it, man.
Yeah, man. I was sitting on that for a little while, and I was like, should I drop it? Will I get people in trouble? And then, that was big news for me. I was like so excited. But of course, you're hitting the road with our own Darkcell again, who you've known for a long time. They're a bunch of great dudes, man. Awesome band. What is it about touring with them that makes your trips down under pretty memorable?
Well, I mean, it's going to be memorable just in itself, you know. Like, it's just, I mean, we have so much material to share now, you know. Like, just since last time we've released a few albums too, you know. So, it's going to be a good trip, man. And like you said, the Darkcell guys are great, and I feel like it's just the right time to do it again now. And yeah, man, I'm just excited to play the new material for the Australian peeps, and also, like, of course we're gonna play a lot of the old material. Like, you got to make people happy, you know what I mean? So definitely play stuff from the old material to make people happy, and it always makes us stoked to play too, because, you know, there's something about playing old stuff that everybody knows, and it always ups the live atmosphere, you know.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Because, I mean, you're not spoiled for choice. I mean, like, you've got so much material now, as you said, and it must be getting hard because there's so many classic tracks that everyone wants to hear. But your recent set list, I did look at your recent set list, and it's fucking on point, man. That's a solid set list. Is that what we're going to get?
Thanks, man. Well, yeah, we'll see, man. Like, we were just talking about it. We were just talking about it today, if we're going to do something similar to what we just did in Europe. And I think it worked so well, so I think that's what we're going to do, you know. Like, we might have something up our sleeve, or if you want to change something in the last minute. But I really do think that that's a good list for this tour period, you know what I mean? Because it has so much from every era of the band, and that's kind of what this new album is all about. It's kind of about, you know, we talked about this, how it all ties together, you know, like the everything that I've ever done with the band is kind of tied together in this album. So I think it's important to play all of those things as well. Well, I'll try to, you know. It's like cutting out songs in the set list is like Kill Your Babies, you know. It's just you just don't know what to get rid of.
Well, there's a lot in there though, and one fire, man. As you said, like that album seems to it seems to be a real significant point in your career. You know what I mean? It's as you said, it sort of ties everything together, and there's some awesome songs on there that, you know, as a fan, I'd love to hear live. Are you thinking about adding a few more of them on the upcoming tour as well?
I don't know, man. We're known to kind of decide in the last minute what to do for the shows. I mean, we're gonna have, you know, it's the same lineup with the band members as we did on the European tour. So that's all that is kind of set. Everything else is kind of like I like to have the option to change things, and so we'll see, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, man, I looked at that European tour, and that looked insane, man. That was like, what, 2 months on the road you were over there or something? That was crazy.
Yeah, we did. We did about 2 months in the U.S., and then we went and did 2 months in Europe. So that was 4 months total. And I'll tell you, man, that no matter how much I love being on stage and doing this thing, that really affects you physically and mentally. I'm glad I got some. It's like we were supposed to go to South America just like a week after we came home. And then between that and Australia, it was supposed to be just 2 weeks or a week and a half. And somehow South America got, it's a long story. I mean, we didn't cancel it, we rescheduled it, but still it didn't happen. It was supposed to happen. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise, man, because I really needed that time at home to recoup, and now I'm so stoked. You know, we're a week and a half out, and I'm so stoked about going to Australia. Like, if we would have done South America, I would have just gotten home, and I would be like, man, I only got a week and a half home. So it's like a blessing in disguise, man. So I'm now we're all amped up, you know, and because you can only be home for so long too before you go stir crazy and want to get back out.
Oh, dude, I could imagine. Like, that's like a lot of time on the road. And there was a show that I saw. Was it the festival? Was it Merrill Luna? Is that the one you pronounce? The one that there's the footage out online at the moment.
Was it fun? Like, we were lucky enough that we more or less started the European run with two humongous festivals. Were so killer. You know, Grass Pop and Hellfest, and then we ended the whole run with, you know, Merrill Luna. And so you couldn't have had better beginner and ender, you know, as of having the motivation to go back out again. It kind of sucks when you end up playing the last show in a little shit town that nobody knows, that nobody heard of, you know, in front of 10 meth heads. And and I tell you, man, it happens. It happens. It's not often, but it happens. We pick up that one last stop, and it happens to be some shithole, and we just do it because it's on the way. And that's the last memory you have of a long tour, and you're just, man, that's not the best motivation to go back.
No. But that I mean, that was massive, man. I mean, you probably played to some huge crowds. What's the craziest one that comes to mind? Where it was just insane.
It's just well, this is where I say like with big crowds, it's playing in front of big crowds and everything. Of course, it's amazing. It has its own thing, but there is for it to feel like it's a huge crowd when you play outdoors with a big press barrier and everything. It has to be like 20,000-30,000 people for it to even feel big. You play a venue like 600-700 people and it's packed. It feels almost bigger, and because it's you got it right there, and it's just the energy and the people, and I actually prefer doing that. I'm not gonna lie. It's great to be able to play for all these people in this huge festival. But man, to have that energy with a packed venue, like a sold out packed venue, where you go to a festival, you feel like the people are there. They're there for the festival. First of all, they're not there just for the band. They're there for the festival. Yeah. They're also there. A lot of them are just watching the show. Like, you come to a sold-out, smaller show, everybody's there to party, and that's what I like. I don't like people to come to the show and feel like they're there to watch something. I want them to be there to be a part of something, and that's a huge difference.
That control chaos in a small room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Control chaos, but they need to be involved. It's like, if I feel like I'm on stage just performing for people, it's not as satisfying as performing with people,
Yes.
So when you have the crowd being a part of everything, it's like, for us, the best shows that we do is the shows where the audience is just as important as the band.
Yeah.
Or it's not more important at that point. And the band was important in the studio and writing and everything, and now the audience is important being a part of that live. And that's really the great overwhelming part of playing shows.
Absolutely, man. And your new drummer, Dane White, is that his name?
Yeah, awesome.
He's awesome.
No, he's a monster of a drummer. He has so much passion and fire, and it's I'm not saying anything bad about past members or anything, because we're all super tight still and friends and everything, but there's something about fresh blood coming in, and especially someone who is that hungry and talented. And I think that's the two magic words. He's a talented, hungry guy. Like, he really wants it, and it's awesome, man. It's such a great feeling, and it was really refreshing these last months, going out with a band, basically a brand new band but it was, the energy level was so high. It feels like old times, that there's just like the camaraderie. You walk on stage and everybody's there because they want to be there. Nobody's doing it because they kind of got stuck with it, and the energy is just it's unlike anything I've felt for the last 10 years, man. I'm excited for the Australian crowd to experience that.
Has that had a sort of influence on writing? Has it sort of sparked that, that creative juices flowing?
Well, maybe next time. I mean, he wasn't. I didn't decide on bringing Dane in until like 2 weeks before. Like, seriously, 2 weeks before the U.S. tour, and I had, I was going through. I had auditions and stuff, and I could not decide. I was like, I actually kind of went after Dane because I wanted him in the band, and but I kind of waited to the last minute. Well, as far as I could wait for him to actually learn the set list, and because I was going to make sure that I really took the right decision, because whoever was going to come with me is people that I really wanted to be an important part of the band going forward. So, like 2 weeks before, I called him up and was like, Dane, you want to rock and roll? And he's like, hell yeah, man. And I was like, well, these are the 2,000 songs you need to learn. And he's like going through all the songs I gave him. He's like, you know what? Good thing I learned most of them already. And I was like, oh hell yeah! So it was good, man. And that shows exactly what I said. He's very hungry and passionate about it. He didn't even have a job yet, and he already learned like most of my catalog, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he knows songs that I don't, you know.
Wow, man. That's as you said, the magic word there is hungry, man. If they want it, they'll do anything they can to make sure they got that prove himself. And he's a monster, man. From what I saw of that footage, holy shit, dude, that guy's got some energy. I can't wait. I can't wait, dude. It's going to be so good. And of course,
I'm excited too.
In regards to One Fire, man, like I see everyone's posting that limited edition that's come out. That's incredible, man. Did you design that?
Dude, I'm usually like design fascist in the band, like, or with everything. I'm putting my hands in everything, and I always do. I'm a graphic designer myself, so I always do everything myself. But this time around, and I had this guy Decca. He's been doing some work for a clothing company that I was dealing with, and he's just magic. And I talked to him, and he's like, "So what do you want?" And I was like, "I mean, it's going to sound like I'm on acid, man, but this is kind of what I want." And I just kind of went off, and 2 hours later, he sent me a sketch for the cover, and I was like, "Holy shit! Yep, that's exactly it." And he's just like, it was perfect. And so like putting from there and having such a great guy doing such great artwork, it was so easy to put together packaging and doing the different limited editions and stuff like that, the different vinyls and stuff. It kind of came by itself, like all my hits. It's like, oh, this would be great in, magenta vinyl, or this would be great in, the orange vinyl and the box set and everything. So he's really the one to get all the credit for everything else around the concept of the packaging of this, man.
I've got to get one. I keep seeing it. I just got to hit that button, man. I just got to hit that pay button. Throw you all the money. I keep looking at it. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to get one. But, of course, I mean, you've got a cover on the album of Dead Kennedy's California Valis, which is awesome. Like, I love it. Have you ever thought about doing just a covers album, like with, your own spin on stuff?
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I did a cover. So I don't remember if we talked about it last time, but it was like, it was just perfect because it kind of rounded up the whole album, because Dead Kennedy was the band that changed my life forever when I heard it first time, when it came to music. So all I knew was whatever my parents played until I was 9 years old and heard Dead Kennedy, and then it was all gone. And so that was the obvious one. But I've been thinking about it. I just wouldn't know how to approach it, because I feel like the natural way to go would be to do a covers album of all the songs that had a huge meaning for me in my life.
Yes.
And not just the songs that I thought would sound cool done by us, but songs that really meant something. And that could be challenging, because a lot of the songs mean so much to me, so it's kind of hard to change it.
Yeah.
And also because the kind of nostalgic value of it, and you don't want to destroy that either. But the other side, it could be interesting, because it would be weird songs. It could be like Lullaby by The Cure. It was my make out song when I was 14. You know what I mean? But that comes up with an important song in my life. So it has a certain time, certain thing. But it's like, I have no idea how I would approach it, but I'm sure I would find a way to do it. So the idea is interesting. The other idea is to go through and be like, okay, let's do an 80s cover album. Let's do a 90s cover, and just go through the decades see if that would be something that'd be interesting. But again, I have so much creative ideas still for Combichrist. I wouldn't know at that point. It's like, when should I have time to start writing new material? And I think as a band, that's still the priority, and that's still the most important part, you know. So, but we'll see.
Oh, well, I mean, I would love to hear you do, you know, Lullaby. I think that'd be sick. But, you know, more Combichrist, any form, shape or form would be awesome. So, and that's well look forward to. What about 2020? What's on the cards for you, man?
Well, we just not started booking. We just started booking the end of 2020. So it looks like we're going to be really busy. But it's going to be mostly doing U.S. and Europe. But I have some ideas and things on how I want to go about it. And we're going to do a lot of festivals, of course, next year. Festivals that we didn't do the last couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
And also U.S. and in Europe, and but also like do packaging, like do go out with bands that I would like to go out with, like bring new bands that people might not really know, and you know, and showcase to these bands, and just put together a great package. Like I always come back to the word party, but I don't mean in the sense that we all just go and get wasted every night. Though I don't mind, but it's when I mean a party, it's like you have 3 or 4 bands with you, and it's just like it's not just a support band in the main act, but there's a package where like every band brings different people, but everybody contributes somewhat to one great evening, and that's what we want, man. Music is not competition. It's sharing passion for something, you know. So that's kind of the one thing I've been thinking about for next year, is to really make the diversity through the bands and everything we bring with us. So so far we're planning. Well, I think we're working on November 2020 right now. So we're busy for a while.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, man. But it's exciting times, dude, and we definitely can't wait to see you guys down here. The tour kicks off on October 2nd at the Basement in Canberra, but we'll see you in Brisbane on October 3rd, and yeah, so that's going to be incredible, man. Andy, thanks again for hanging on the show, and we'll see you very soon, bro.
Hey, my pleasure, man, and we'll see you in Brisbane.